month. If he's going to do that, he's unstoppable.
Yep.
All right, now you know what? Broussard, every once in a while, I'm this close to being like, you know what? I don't even know why I like Chris Broussard. All his takes are just so bad. And then he comes out with a gem on Luka. It was great. It was just great take. Almost everything he said is right. I'm just going to add this. Of course, he proved it last year. They're not going to be in the play-in. They're going to continue to win. They've won 8 of their last 10. And I had to listen during the break to Broussard and Brandon both just paint beautiful tapestries about tell me who's playing better than James Harden over the last month. This guy who's averaging 32, 8, and 8. And over the last 10 games, shooting 47% from 3. On the season now, 36% from 3. He is arguably, now that he's in shape, and I typically, Brandon, would hold the beginning of the season against him for being out of shape. But we don't hold anything against anybody. That's unfair. He didn't quit on the Mavs. He was just a little overweight, so who cares? So listen, Luka MVP, I suppose. No, Luka got to be in the MVP discussion. He didn't quit on the Mavs. He just overate on the Mavs. So who cares? Of course he can carry them into the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, Brandon. So, yeah, of course he can.
Disappointed in you, Nicholas. Come on, brother. Look, it's not all about scoring a basket. James Harden is not only scoring, averaging 25 points, but his assist is bringing in 25 points. That's why James Harden is playing better than Luka. But if we're going to talk about Luka, then the answer is yes, absolutely. This is what happens when you're a top 5 player. He's that good. But we've seen this before. Now, how far they go is going to be determined by another guy on this team, and that's Porzingis. Porzingis, 7'3". Hopefully his frame can hold up just a little bit. You know the liability around Porzingis. It's his defense and it's his health. If he can hold up, this could be a dangerous team once they get in. Because Luka will get them in the playoffs. Luka may be able to win them 2 or 3 games, but that's it.
You're 100% right, Brandon. Porzingis played 20 games. He's missed 13. He's back. He's playing well. He's giving about 19 and 8, and that's what Luka needs, another guy. They were so desperate for more scoring. That's why Myles Garrett's tweeting out to Mark Cuban like, hey, you need a big guard. I know you're missing Porzingis, and bring in old Myles Garrett in his Jurassic Park T-shirts. So now that Porzingis is back, Luka will play better.
See that Myles Garrett jumping up? That was like 34-foot box jump yesterday.
Wearing Jurassic Park
incredible. That's it. You guys see Zion last night? Let's talk some New Orleans. He was so good again. 26 and 10. Pelicans took down the NBA's top team, the Utah Jazz. Hey, Broussard, was last night more about Zion and the Pelicans' win or Utah's loss?
Well, let me not just ignore the Jazz. They've now lost 3 of their last 6, all right? So we can put all the talk about them being the 2014 Spurs or one of those Warriors teams. We can put that to bed, all right? They're coming back to the pack. But I had to say that, but this is more about New Orleans. And look, they've won 8 of their last 15, which for a young team like that is a nice stretch. And it coincides with Zion having the ball in his hands. Give Stan Van Gundy some credit. He's put the ball in Zion's hands a little more. Not exclusively, which I don't want that. But occasionally Zion's running a high pick and roll. He's even playing some point guard. And that gives the defense a different look, which I like. His numbers are great, 27 points a game during that stretch. Here's the other thing. We know Brandon Ingram's playing well. And then Lonzo. During this last 15 games where they've gone 8 and 7, Lonzo is really acclimating to being not the point guard all the time. He's averaging 17 points and shooting 46% from 3. In New Orleans, they have a poor man's big 3 developing with Zion, Brandon Ingram, and Lonzo that maybe eventually can turn into a real big 3.
There it is.
It's cute right now. Maybe it'll be handsome in a few years.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. You said it. The kid from Spartansburg Day, Zion Williamson. This era has begun. And last night, it wasn't about Zion. It wasn't about Ingram. It was about the last guy that you threw into the big 3, Chris. and that's Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is the reason why this team has been playing really well the last couple weeks. What happened the last couple weeks? J.J. Redick pulls over Lonzo and says, buddy, you got to be more aggressive. What are you doing? We need you. Come on, man. Step into your own. And that's what he's done. So last night was about Lonzo Ball finally becoming part of the Big Three.
Okay, so quick note on Zion, and then I'm going to get to the Jazz. Listen, everyone, if you have a chance, should go back and watch that third quarter last night. Because what Zion did to Rudy Gobert and just getting to the rim at will against the Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA was magnificent. And, by the way, updated NBA player pyramid coming out tomorrow. Total vindication for Zion's spot on the pyramid, which Chris Broussard, I think Broussard had him beneath Chris Boucher on his player pyramid. So vindication for Zion's spot on the pyramid. Now, to the Jazz.
Throw him under the
bus. Folks, NBA Twitter, stop treating the Utah Jazz like my mother used to treat Brussels sprouts. Like, I know they're terrible, I know you hate them, but you've got to eat them. Grown-ups eat them. They're good for you. There are no added vitamins and minerals from appreciating the Jazz ball movement. They're not a contender. They're not interesting. They don't have a superstar. Nobody actually cares about them outside of Salt Lake City. And you don't get some badge of NBA true fan for being like, you know what? I love the way the ball just pops from Ingles to Bogdanovich. Shut up. You're pretending to like watching them play. You don't actually like watching them play.
Jazz
and now, as they come back to the pack, everyone now can ignore them
Nick,
the way we're supposed to.
You.
It's enough. No, I'm just being honest. They treat them like they're the NBA's vegetables. Like, you don't have to like them, but you don't have to, but you have to eat them. No, I don't. I don't actually, Wilds.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I like about watching the Jazz? The ball movement and the way the ball pops from, Broussard to Ingles. They're really moving around. They're a balanced squad, Nick. I know you're going to say they're not a superstar. I'd argue that Spider is a superstar in the making. He's not super duper star. He's not an immortal god, but he's right there on the cusp. Stay tuned for your player pyramid. We'll see where he is. Not a terrible loss for the Jazz here. Here's why. Broussard, you'll like this. Nice balance. Nice balance. Bojan 21, Gobert 22, Donovan 21, Clarkson 20 off the bench.
See, you talk about the Jazz and they roll tape. You talk about the Jazz, Jenna, and they're like, move on to interesting teams.
They move on.
That does get Nick excited. LeBron and Lakers, they're back in action tonight. Lakers playing the Suns, Devin Booker and the Suns. Lakers have won 2 in a row. Booker coming off a season-high 43. Little must-watch TV tonight. Broussard, what are you most looking forward to in this one?
Well, look, the Suns are the hottest team in the league right now, so I want to see the Lakers play against them. Look, they beat up on a Portland team that was struggling in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Golden State's up and down. This will be a better test for these Lakers without AD. Devin Booker has been rejuvenated since he's landed on the All-Star team, so I want to see him go off. And Dennis Schroeder versus Chris Paul. 2 little feisty guards going at it. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, feisty. Yeah, Chris Paul, by the way, top 3 MVP candidate, unlike James Harden, Chris Paul. I'm excited for this game for a couple of reasons. When the Lakers were in their 4-game swoon, I said on this show, they're going to win 4 in a row headed into the All-Star break. This would be win number 3. Also, when the Lakers win tonight, their final game before the break will be against the Kings. It'll be very nice. Right before the break, the Lakers can get Luke Walton fired, and they can play against him in his final game ever coaching in the NBA. So that'll be good, too. So Lakers win tonight. They beat the Kings tomorrow. They go into the break on a 4-game winning streak.
Nick, wow, the Suns are insanely hot, and the Lakers don't have a chance. Your boy LBJ is going to have to drop 50 if he wants to win. They're not only insanely hot. You got to think about the mentality. It's almost like what Steph Curry said. Steph Curry said, like, wow, when teams play us, they still remember what we did to them. They still remember how dominant we were. That's the Lakers. The Lakers are going to get every team's best shot. They don't have AD, and they're insanely hot. So the Lakers don't have a chance unless your boy LBJ comes in and drops 50. And I don't see that happen, so I'm going with the Suns.
All right, We shall see. We got to get back to J.J. Watt now. The guy's still shocked he picked Arizona. Coach will be with us. Coach Mangini joining us next to discuss the level of shock. First